We've shown how to do bottom lines of a shingle. Now we're going to show you how to do the keyways on a steep roof. So just like when we were doing the lines, when you're on your harness rope and you're all the way maxed out on that rope, you're as close as you can get, you're still several feet down from the peak. And when we're working on the keyways, typically we're working in front of us, going at more of a downward angle to hit these keyways, right? So how are we supposed to hit the top several rows if just with this rope, I'm already 7-8 feet down from the peak. So how am I supposed to get these keyways? That's the question. Well, typically, the best thing that you can do is either stand at the peak and get the top several rows of keyways while standing on the peak, or, and you can go, by the way, when you're doing keyways on a steep roof, you can go a lot farther than you do typically on a low-pitched roof. So I've done roofs before where I have stood or sat maybe at the peak, and I've done 20 feet down on the keyways without moving. But way number one to hit the top keyways is standing on the peak or straddle the peak. It's obviously safer. You're always going to be hooked in, but you can pretty accurately get all the way up the very last row just by straddling. And then, of course, you can readjust if you need to. So whenever I'm working on a steep roof, and I finish off my lines and I do my keyways, I still follow a kind of a pattern where I'm going to go kind of like in a column. So let's say I'm going to do as far that way as I can with my keyways, and then I'll start working on that side of the keyways. But the hardest part of it is really just getting that very top couple of rows. Now, this is where your pitch hopper comes in great handy yet again. This is why every truck should have about 2 of these. Notice on my shoes how your toes, all gravity is pinpointing to your toes, to your feet. On a really steep roof, if you're up here for 6, 7, 8 hours, your feet are going to be raw by the end of the day. And your toes are going to be hurting like crazy because they're pushing up against the butt of the boot. So having a pitch hopper with you really helps on the keyways. So I can just sit here all relaxed on a 9, 10, 12 pitch, and I can still brush out my keyways pretty much in a 5, 6, 7 foot column going all the way down. Now, unlike a low pitched roof with a steep one, I'm going to start really using my extensions to go pretty far down that roof. As long as I'm not going too wide out to the left or to the right, I still have the proper angles to hit these keyways up to about, let's say, 15 to 20 feet away from my sitting position. And then if I need to adjust, I can just adjust. So that's how you pretty much tackle the keyways. In summary, the very top is the hard part. That's where you have to straddle the peak. But after that, it gets pretty easy because you can just use your pitch off.